Welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita class. Thank you for taking out your precious time and coming to attend this Bhagavad Gita class. We are continuing our discussion from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are in chapter 2, which is entitled Contents of Gita Summarized. So far in this chapter, we have heard Krishna is explaining to Arjuna the science of soul. In the first chapter, we have heard Krishna, he has this first chapter begins with Dhritarashtra asking a question: what did my sons and sons of Pandu do? In response to this question, Sanjay, he tells, your son will never change, because Dhritarashtra is thinking, maybe my son will change, and this place is Dharma Kshetra, it should not have effect on my son. He says, nahi, tumhara beta kabhi nahi sudharne wala hai. He has gone to his teacher Dronacharya and he is telling, your intelligent disciple, just see what he has done. He has arranged the entire military. You taught him and now he has become a headache for all of us. Please don't repeat the same mistake. Fight properly. And then Duryodhana takes the name of all the warriors. On the side of Pandavas, he misses Krishna. He's not going to fight. He takes the name of all the warriors on his side and he mentions Karna, because he's thinking he's always with me, he'll help me in any situation. All the warriors, they blow their conch. On the side of Kauravas, Bhishma blows, and the side of Pandavas, Krishna blows. Understanding that Krishna is Supreme Lord, nobody said why he is blowing. Drishtadyumna didn't say. And then Arjun, he gets a very interesting question, a desire. Krishna, please place my chariot in between the two armies. Senayor ubhayor madhye ratham sthapayami achyuta. I want to see, niriksheham, nirikshan karna hai. And then Krishna places the chariot right in front of Bhishma and Drona. They are the dearmost to Krishna, to Arjuna. Arjuna sees 5 generations assembled in front of him. He gets into complete confusion. He gives 5 reasons. I am feeling compassionate. Second reason? हर हफ्ते सुन रहे हैं. How will I enjoy alone? Thank you, at least कोई तो बोला. तो मुझे डाउट होता था. मेरे को मैं कंफ्यूजन में जाता था. अर्जुन की जगह. I'll become sinful if I'll kill all my family members. And if the men are killed, women will be unprotected, they may be exploited. Destruction of family tradition. And ultimately, in the second chapter, he says, I am completely confused. I am surrendering to you, Krishna. Shishyaste ham. Krishna starts explaining, beginning with chastisement. You are behaving like Pandit, but you are fool. How Pandit? And then he starts describing the science of soul. We have heard so far, soul is eternal, can never be killed, never takes birth. We are on verse number 25th, right? Huh? Yeah, 25th we are discussing. We'll discuss something more on that and then we'll continue with 26th verse. We'll recite 25th again. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate tasmadevam viditvainam nanushochitumarhasi. Translation, somebody please read.
It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body.
Yes. So the soul is inconceivable, and because the soul is part of the Lord is also inconceivable. The Lord works in very, very amazing, inconceivable ways to bring a person closer to Him. When things go wrong in our life, we should understand that we are not this body, we are soul. Nothing changes in ourself. Avyakta, achintya, avikarya. Avikarya means the soul never changes. We never go through any change. But why we feel disturbed? because we start identifying with the world. ये मेरा है. We have seen the example of a person entering a movie theater. As the person sits in the movie theater, what is the first thing which happens in the movie theater? All the lights go off. And then another light goes on. So the light which goes off is the avaranatmika shakti in this world. When we come in this world, what happens? We forget that we are part of the Lord. We are supposed to serve Him. The avaran, the covering of ignorance is put on us. And then another movie starts. That is, I am controller, I have come here, I have this wife, this husband, this family. This is my another identity which comes up. That is called as prakshepatmika shakti. The first shakti is avaranatmika, second is prakshepatmika. These are the two shaktis of Durga, Maya Devi. And when the hero is having a good time with the heroine, the audience are also happy, they are also enjoying. And when the hero is beaten by the villain, and when something happens to the mother of the hero and something wrong is happening, बेचारे audience भी रो रहे हैं. क्यों भाई? Nothing is happening to them. Why are they crying? They start identifying with the hero. मैं भी वैसा ही हूँ. And that's why they cry, they laugh. Nothing is happening to them. Still, they are experiencing the emotions of laughter, joy, sorrow. That is what is happening in this world to us. The soul is avikarya. Soul never changes. But because we are identifying, this is mine, ye mera hai. Just like if somebody buys a new car, नया खरीदा है और next day he is riding and somebody bangs the car from the back, क्या होगा? उसको कुछ हुआ नहीं है. His car is just banged, but still the person laments, he cries. Why? मेरी कार है. और वही अगर पड़ोसी के कार के साथ हुआ तो, who is envious, who is already inimical, अच्छा हुआ, पूरी टूटती तो अच्छा होता था. So that's how it is. The more we identify with something, we feel pain. But the soul is avikarya. We have heard that when we die, the gross body dies, gross body is left, and the soul, Yamdutas they come. And Yamdutas they come and bind. क्या बांधते हैं? Atma is spiritual. Atma cannot be bound by any material thing. Yampash is material. Subtle body. They bind our subtle body. What is our subtle body? Mind, intelligence, ego. That is our property. All our desires are there in our subtle body. हमारी इच्छाएं, हमने क्या क्या ख्वाहिशें रखी हैं, वो सब हमारे मन में है. And if somebody is just taking that, we will follow the person. We are attached to that. But the more we practice this path of devotional service, the more we start realizing, ठीक है, this body and the things related to this body, I have to take care of it, but I have to detach from these things. They are not me. I have to just do the needful. So a devotee is always responsible but not attached. Taking care of the family, whatever is needed, doing the job and society, whatever. But the devotee understands that these are not my permanent duties. These are the duties I have because I am in this body. India is great. Why? Because मैं जन्मा हूं ना इधर. Naturally, if I take birth in Pakistan होना नहीं चाहिए. Pakistan will be great, right? Because I have taken birth there. So it is all because I am there. The more we realize that I am not this body, I am soul, we are not disturbed. There was a great king. His name was Chitraketu. He was a great devotee of the Lord. and he worshipped Shankarshan. And Sankarshan, Lord Sankarshan, he was pleased with Chitraketu. He gave wonderful benedictions. He was practically a pure devotee. He had been given a position in Vidyadhar Lok. You know, Vidyadhar is one of the heavenly planets. He had personal chartered plane. खुद का विमान है. One day, he was flying in his airplane with his wife, and he was flying over Kailash. And Kailash में कौन है? Shiva and Parvati. So Shiva, Lord Shiva is giving a discourse on renunciation to all the sages. You know, there were many sages who had assembled there. Lord Shiva is giving discourse on renunciation, and Mother Parvati is sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva. That is an amusing scene. त्याग के ऊपर लेक्चर दिया जा रहा है, and Lord Shiva is affectionately sitting with Parvati. So Chitraketu, when he sees this scene, he gets really amused. Wow, ये भगवान शिव जी कर सकते हैं. He started smiling at it. And Lord Shiva had no problem with that. He understood. ये क्यों हंस रहा है? But who became disturbed? Parvati. पत्नी को ऐसा गुस्सा आना ही चाहिए ना. पति के ऊपर कोई हंसेगा तो मतलब होता है ना ऐसा. मतलब ना पता नहीं, अभी आप लोग ज्यादा बता सकते हैं. So she became really angry, and she spoke so many very strong words, and ultimately she cursed. You are behaving like a demon. You are not supposed to be in this body of Vidyadhar. You become demon. बताइए, अभी आप ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं फ्लाइट में, अभी डिजास्टर हुआ इतना बड़ा. Suddenly Chitraketu is cursed to become a demon. So Chitraketu is a pure devotee of the Lord. He understands कि भाई जो भी हो रहा है ना, I will never change. Soul is eternal, and whatever is happening in my life, it is happening by the will of the Lord. So he goes in front of Mother Parvati. He says, "Oh Mother, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to insult Lord Shiva, but I'll not justify. Whatever you have curse you have given, I accept it. Guna pravaha tasmin kah shapa kah anugraha kah swarga narkah kova kim sukham dukkham eva." He says, what is happiness? What is distress? What is heaven? What is hell? Oh, these are all happening by the modes of nature. He very peacefully accepted the curse and he left. And he became what? He became a very, very powerful demon. His name was Vritrasur. But interestingly, because he was a great devotee of the Lord, even in the body of a demon, he remained a great devotee. So, when problems happen in our life, Bhagavad Gita tells, we never change. Avikarya. And especially when we are practicing bhakti, then we are for sure protected by the Lord. We may experience some disturbance. Chota mota upar niche hoga life mein. But for sure a devotee knows, भगवान की इच्छा के बिना एक पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता है. When Krishna enters the life of a devotee, sometimes there is some more turmoil. Any of you have experienced this? नहीं किया तो अच्छा है. किया है किसने? कि भगवान जीवन में आए, यार जीवन में ज्यादा उथल पुथल हो रही है. आपके जीवन में हुआ है तो आप ब्रजवासियों के लाइन पे चल रहे हैं. When Krishna was not there in Vrindavan, there was no demons coming in Vrindavan. Shanti thi. As soon as Krishna appeared, every day demon is coming. And none of the Brajvasis, they complained, नंद महाराज एक काम करो, आप एक कृष्ण को लेके दूसरे गांव में शिफ्ट हो जाओ. ये जीवन में प्रॉब्लम आ गया है. एषवाश्रया दास्यात् गोपगोकुल नंदना अनेन सर्व दुर्गाणि यूयम मंजस्तरिष्यथा. Garg Muni, when he came to give names to Krishna and Balram, अभी कृष्ण बलराम के नाम नहीं दिए गए ना, in this pastime, when he comes to give names, he says, this child of yours will definitely take you across all the problems of your life. Anena sarva durgani yuyam, both of you, all of you, anja tarishyatha. Anjas means very easily you will cross over. That is the faith of a devotee. That is how a devotee works. Problem आ रहा है कोई बात नहीं आ रहा है, and I'm grateful. आ रहा है, still I'm grateful. If things are going good in my life, I am grateful to the Lord. Thank you, my Lord. If things are going bad in my life, thank you, my Lord. Why thank you? इससे बड़ा होने वाला था. बोले ये इससे बड़ा और क्या होगा भाई? We can't understand how Krishna minimizes the problems in our life. Tatte nukampa susamikshmano Bunjanuevatmakritam vipakam Ridavagvapurvir vidadhan namaste Jivetayo mukti pade sadaya bhak. Brahmaji speaks this verse. He says, a devotee, you know what is the mood of a devotee? When problem comes in life, he says or she says, Tatte anukampa. Anukampa means what? Anyone knows the meaning of anukampa? सुना है शब्द अनुकंपा. भगवान की अनुकंपा है. इट इज एक्सट्रीम मर्सी ऑफ द लॉर्ड. क्या है? आपने दुख दिया मेरे को, दुख दिया नहीं है, दुख कम करके दिया है. You know, when some seed is there, any seed, you roast the seed and put in the soil, will it grow? No. Bhunjanuevatmakritam vipakam. So Brahmaji says, you know what is happening when we perform devotional service? Our seeds of karmic reactions, karma के बीज है ना, Krishna roasts them. They never grow. We are purified. जो छोटा मोटा देते हैं वो सैंपल है, इससे बहुत बड़ा मिलने वाला था. So devotee is always grateful. They never blame Krishna. They never complain कि भाई क्या कर रहे हैं आप, ये दुनिया बनाने वाले, अच्छी दुनिया बना देते, इतने प्रॉब्लम क्यों डाल दिए उसमें. People in this world, they don't understand then that the material things, they are dangerous for them. It's like Srila Prabhupada tells this story. There was a small boy, he had typhoid, and the doctor had told, इसको कुछ भी तला हुआ नहीं देना है, no fried. And the small boy liked fried foods. So one day, mother, she had to go out for some work. So she told her small daughter. So she had two children, small boy and little elder daughter. So she said, Beta, I am going out. You take care of your brother for a few hours. She said, don't worry, mummy, you go. I'll take care. So मम्मी चली गई. तो ये बच्चे को अभी मिला मौका. बच्चा बोलता है, दीदी, I want पकोड़ा. बोला, मम्मी ने बोला है पकोड़ा नहीं मिलेगा. You don't love me. Please give me पकोड़ा ना. तो सिस्टर को दया आ गई, ये बेचारा भाई मांग रहा है. So she made pakoras and fed him. And then what happened? He became worse. So that is what happens in the life of people when they want material things. Material things मिलता है, उसके साथ दुख ज्यादा आ जाता है. That's what Krishna says in 5th chapter. Please take out 5th chapter, 22nd verse. Krishna speaks something very interesting. When people in this world, they try to get the pleasures, what happens? Along with the pleasure, 5th chapter, 22nd verse. Along with the pleasure, pains come for sure. Yehi samsparshja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nate shuramate buddha. Translation, please, somebody loudly.
An intelligent person does not take part in the source of misery, which are due to contact with material sense. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end.
Yes.
And so the wise man does not delight in
Samsparashaja, when people engage in happiness, sense pleasures, dukkha yonaya, for sure dukkha will take birth. अरे अभी तो नहीं लग रहा है, अभी तो मजा आ रहा है, ऐसा कैसे बोल रहा है भाई? कृष्ण इज सो सैडिस्टिक, उनको नहीं मिला लगता है. No, he is just telling the facts of this world. Anything you try to do, some problem will come along with that. कुछ भी कर लो आप, अभी नहीं आएगा, थोड़ी देर से आएगा, बट आएगा फॉर श्योर. इट इज नॉट दैट पता नहीं मेरे साथ तो नहीं होगा, होगा. दैट इज द नेचर ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड. व्हाई? When we want to enjoy something separately from Krishna, problems will come. We are not against enjoyment, because we are by nature pleasure seeking. We are Satchidananda. So we cannot live without happiness and joy, but we should learn how to enjoy. When we enjoy separately from Krishna, we suffer. When we enjoy with Krishna, then we don't suffer. That is the pleasure. We have to understand. When we come in Krishna consciousness, it is not that यहाँ पे तो सब लोग मुंह बना के बैठते हैं भाई, किसी को कोई खुशी नहीं है इधर. No, it is joyful path. One time there was a college student, 31st night. So he was a devotee. So he told his friend, ये 31st night को क्या कर रहा है तू? बोले 31st night को और क्या करेंगे? वो एक मरीन ड्राइव पे एक बहुत अच्छा क्लब है, उसका नाम है आरजीज. So I am going there. तो ये डिवोटी बोलता है, अरे आई एम ऑल्सो गोइंग टू अनदर क्लब, उसका नाम भी आरजीज है. कौन सा क्लब है भाई? राधा गोपीनाथ. So in that year, our Gaur Gopal Pro, he was giving a talk. So he said, अरे चल यार, बहुत अच्छा होता है उधर. बोले क्या होता है? अरे बहुत अच्छा. सबसे पहले मेन चीज बताना चाहिए ना स्टूडेंट्स को, फर्स्ट क्लास फीस्ट रहता है. कितना उसका? अरे फ्री. तो बोला अच्छा फ्री में? अरे उधर डांस करने को भी मिलता है, क्लब में डांस करता है ना, इधर भी डांस करेगा. ठीक है आता हूँ चल. सो आ गया वो, एंड देन गौर गोपाल प्रभु ही गिव अ टॉक एंड ही वाज लाइक एंजॉयिंग द टॉक. बहुत मजा आया उसको. एंड देन आफ्टर द क्लास वाज ओवर, ही सेड अब क्या? बोले अब तो मेन, अभी तो डांसिंग शुरू होगा. बोले डांसिंग? यार अकेले डांसिंग कैसे करेंगे? इट वाज ओनली बॉयज प्रोग्राम. बोले यार इसमें अलग मजा है. सो कीर्तन में सब लोग all of you, how many of you seen young students dancing in कीर्तन? सब पागलों की तरह डांस करते हैं वो लोग. जिसको नहीं भी करना आता है वो भी हाथ पांव कुछ तो हिलाता है. So he also enjoyed and then he said, पूरा पसीना पसीना. And then इसके बाद अब क्या? बोला हो गया ना. बोले अरे अभी तो मेन चीज है फीस्टिंग. चैंटिंग हो गया, डांसिंग हो गया, फीस्टिंग. So then he had prasad also, and then he said, "Up to her 31st, I am coming here only." So that's how the path of Krishna consciousness is not a boring path. We should know how to enjoy. People who are dancing in disco clubs, they are also enjoying, but their enjoyment is in the mode of ignorance. It binds them. It brings them lower in their consciousness. But when devotees dance in kirtan, they go higher in their consciousness. So that's how it is. Spiritual life is meant for reducing our material fever. बाहर की दुनिया में लोग फीवर बढ़ाना चाहते हैं अपना. Prabhupada tells a story. One time there was a lady and she had a maid servant. So one time this maid servant, she got fever. So the lady asked, कितना बुखार है? And then she also got fever. So she was also sick. Maid servant is also sick. तो बोलते तेरे को कितना बुखार है? मेरे को तो 101 है. So she said, मेरे को 100 कैसे हो सकता है? तो इसको 101. I have only 100. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? I am मालकिन ना, मेरा ज्यादा होना चाहिए. That's how foolish people are. भाई फीवर बढ़ा के क्या होने वाला है? So when we practice spiritual life, then we learn how to enjoy in a better way. So that is very important to understand. The soul, it is inconceivable, it is unchangeable. So therefore, a devotee never laments for it. And then, in 26th verse, Krishna, he takes a different turn. He says, even if you think that there is no soul, soul is there, but he says, even if you think there is no soul, then why are you lamenting? Then also you should understand body is anyways dead. So he is taking a different turn in 26th verse. We'll recite that. अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि. Translation. Yes. Even if you think that the soul takes birth, nitya jatam, janam leta hai, and mritam, the soul dies. Even if you think like that, which is not a right philosophy, even if you think like that, then also what is the reason to lament? अरे मरने ही वाला है, उसके लिए क्यों पश्चाताप कर रहे हैं? So he is taking, different turn. Soul is eternal, don't lament. Soul is not eternal, don't lament. What is the reason to lament? Just like there is one verse which says, Aradhito yadi hari tapasa tatah kim, naradhito yadi hari tapasa tatah kim. If you are worshipping Krishna, what is the use of tapasya? Tapasa tatah kim. And if you are not worshipping Krishna, then what is the use of tapasya? तपस्या करके क्या प्राप्त करने वाले हैं if you are not worshipping Krishna? So therefore, either ways, the meaning is the same. Worship of Krishna is supreme. That is the most important thing. One should never think, ठीक है बाकी सब कुछ करके काम चल जाएगा क्या? कलियुगा souls को समझाने के लिए बहुत strong. Repeatedly, you have to say the same thing. Just like there is one verse, Harer Nam, eva kevalam kalau nastyeva gatiranyatha. How many times one thing is repeated in this verse? 8 times. Harer Nam. और कुछ है क्या? हरेर नाम. कुछ तो रहेगा. हरेर नाम. एव ओनली. अच्छा इसके साथ कुछ करेंगे तो चले. एव ओनली. देन केवलम. इतना सब बोलने की क्या जरूरत है? बिकॉज कलियुगा ब्रेन tries to figure out something. कुछ तो एक्स्ट्रा करने के लिए मिले. कुछ एक्स्ट्रा करना ही है. बिकॉज खाली इससे क्या होगा? इससे नहीं होगा. कलौ नास्ति एव. There is nothing else, nothing else, nothing else. So Krishna is trying to make Arjuna understand in different ways. Soul eternal है, मानो, don't lament. Soul eternal नहीं है, don't lament. So that is how it is. Prabhupada writes, there is always a class of philosophers, almost akin to Buddhists, who do not believe in the existence of soul beyond the body. So there are some philosophers, some people they say soul is not there. Just like some people they say only humans have soul, animals don't have soul. That is some philosophers. Some Western philosophers they say like that. And when Prabhupada went to America, he would always quote this one thing. He would talk to Christians and he would tell, why are you killing animals? One of the 10 commandments of Jesus is, thou shalt not kill. Why are you killing? Now they have changed it. Now you know what they say? Thou shalt not murder. The killing means any killing. Murder means only humans. बाकियों को मारा तो चलेगा. That's how things are manipulated over a period of time. So if we are not reading regularly, somebody will say something and we will get confused. Somebody will give different philosophy and we will say ये भी ठीक ही बोल रहा है, ये भी ठीक ही बोल रहा है, ये भी ठीक ही बोल रहा है, and we'll get confused. When we realize that we don't know, when we start speaking this to somebody and he starts asking questions, then we realize कुछ मालूम ही नहीं मेरे को, मुझे तो लगा था मैंने बहुत सुन लिया भगवद गीता क्लास में. Now I've realized that ज़्यादा नहीं सुना है. So if you want to really become strong in spiritual life, start telling this to somebody. It will give you impetus to study more. Otherwise your mind will say, कितना सुन लिया, बहुत पढ़ लिया भाई, बस हो गया. एक ही दिन में थोड़ा ना शुद्ध भक्त बनेंगे, आराम से धीरे धीरे बनेंगे. There is no hurry. आज करे सो कल कर, कल करे सो परसों, इतनी भी क्या जल्दी है जब जीना है बरसों. आराम से भक्ति करेंगे. Krishna consciousness is urgency. Try to do it in an urgent mode. करना ही है. Otherwise your mind will always convince कल. पक्का चैंटिंग करना ही है कल से, आज मत कर. आज तो देखो टाइम भी नहीं है, ऑलरेडी यू आर टायर्ड, यू हैव टू डू सो मेनी थिंग्स. घर का इतना काम है, फिर ऑफिस का इतना सारा बचा हुआ है, और फिर रिश्तेदारों का, रिलेटिव्स आर आल्सो देयर, यू हैव टू गो टू दैट पार्टी एंड दैट मैरिज फंक्शन एंड दैट थिंग. बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं है. 108 reasons why I should not chant today. Mind can give you. So therefore we have to be in that urgent mode. Important है, करना है, आज ही करना है. So that is very very important. Otherwise our mind will really cheat us. And for that we should read scriptures regularly. मार्गा बभूव संदिग्धा तृणै छन्ना ह्य संस्कृता न अभ्यस्यमाना श्रुतयो दुजै काले न चाहता. How many of you have been to villages? गांव में ऐसा खेतों के बीच में चले हैं आप लोग कभी? और एक छोटी सी पगडंडी रेत बोलते हैं उसको, स्मॉल पैथ. People walk because they are walking, the path is there. Nobody makes that path. बस चलते चलते बन जाता है वो. But in the rainy season what happens? Nobody walks. So the path gets covered with weeds and grasses. Similarly, when we are walking in our path of intelligence regularly, our intelligence will remain clear. Otherwise the weeds of doubts will grow. मार्गा बभूव संदिग्ध, मार्ग संदिग्ध हो जाते हैं जब कोई चलता नहीं है. Similarly, न अभ्यस्यमाना श्रुतयो, when we don't read regularly, we get confused. We get into doubts. Then we start thinking, काम कर रहा है क्या मेरी लाइफ में? नहीं कर रहा है, छोड़ देते हैं, अभी थोड़ा ब्रेक के बाद शुरू करते हैं. बहुत कर लिया अभी, 2 महीना बहुत इंटेंस हो गया, थोड़ा ब्रेक देते हैं लाइफ में. माइंड विल कन्विंस अस. So therefore we read, when we read regularly, when we come in association of devotees, we remain protected. Because some devotee will ask us, पूछते हैं ना आप लोगों को, devotees आए नहीं आ रहे हैं, क्या हो रहा है, ठीक है ना? And we feel sometimes irritated, क्या यार बार बार पूछते रहते हैं. They are our well-wishers. Otherwise our mind will cheat us. Uncontrolled mind is our worst enemy. And mind never wants that you practice devotional service. We are living with the greatest non-devotee, our mind. So we have to learn to preach to our mind first. करना है. And for that scriptures help. Mind is purified by chanting. Intelligence is purified by scriptures. And our ego is purified by association. When we are with devotees, they will make us humble. They will tell us, just remain little calm. So we have to understand that association is very, very powerful. Acha, just imagine tomorrow morning you get up and you sit for chanting and Lord appears in front of you and Lord says, beta vardhan mango. बेटा युविका, बहुत दिनों के बाद आई है, तुम भी मेरे को मौका मिला है. She was not coming for many weeks. So what devotees will ask? भगवान आके बोल रहे हैं बेटा वरदान मांगो, what's? Yes, what are the general benedictions, blessings? यानी डिवोटी बन गए ना अभी, डिवोटी बन के भी मटेरियल थोड़ी ना मांगेंगे. अच्छा, सेवा मांगेंगे, चैंटिंग, भक्ति, और भगवान को ही मांग लेंगे, ठीक है. और हाँ जी, गोलोक जाना है, हमको भी लेके चलिए अपने साथ, ठीक है. और क्या, व्हाट एल्स? सबको लेके जा रहे हैं, वाह. मुक्ति चाहिए, मुक्ति तो डिवोटी को चाहिए ही नहीं, सेवा चाहिए, भक्ति, प्रेम चाहिए. कौन सा? कृष्ण प्रेम, ऐसा बोलो. कृष्ण प्रेम. What else? Still you are not on the exact right answer. If you read scriptures, if you read Bhagavatam, you read prayers of devotees, you know, when the Lord appears in front of them, what is the first thing which they ask? Yeah, after praising, they ask association of devotees. बोले ए लो, भगवान सामने आए और डिवोटी एसोसिएशन मांगेंगे. ऑलरेडी मैं सोच रहा हूं कितना ज्यादा हो गया डिवोटी एसोसिएशन. But please understand, when we are with devotees, then only we can practice devotional service. If we are alone, we can never practice. We'll practice for few days or weeks and then we'll say thoda break lete hain. When Dhruva, in front of him, Lord is appearing and he says, Bhaktem moho pravahatam tvai me prasango bhuyadananta mahatam amalashayanam. He says, oh my Lord, please give me devotion in your association of your devotees. अकेले नहीं चाहिए, आपके भक्तों के संग में भक्ति करना है, अकेले भक्ति नहीं करना है. लॉर्ड में से अच्छा वो सब तो ठीक है. हैव यू मेड एनी प्लान्स टू क्रॉस ओवर दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड? संसार से निकलने का कुछ प्लान है कि डिवोटीज के साथ ही रहोगे? ये नांजसोल्बनमुरु व्यसनम भवाब्धिम निश्ये भवद गुण कथामृतपान मत्तः. Dhruva says, oh my Lord, this world is really terrible. It is really deadly. It is vast ocean of material existence. इतना सब बोलने के बाद, you know what he says? Very easily I'll cross it. And I will not even realize when I have crossed it, because I'll be intoxicated in hearing Hari Katha from your devotees. Have you seen any drunkard, you know, walking on a road, पूरा पिया हुआ? He is moving from this side to that side. उसके ऊपर पानी भी डालो तो भी कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. उसको गाली दो, उसको मारो, he still get up and he still walk. He's intoxicated. So Dhruva is saying, you know, when I am in association of your devotees, hearing Hari Katha, I am not affected by the problems of the world. I am intoxicated. Matta. So when we are matta, you know, ironically, when somebody is drunk, he cannot reach his home on his own, right? उसको कोई तो पहुंचाने वाला चाहिए. But when we are intoxicated in hearing the names, pastimes of the Lord, for sure we will reach the ultimate home. That is the glory of Hari Katha. So that is the glory of association of devotees. When we are with the devotees, for timing at least we feel, you know, we feel the material problems, they are not there. Vishanti hai. I am not experiencing the troubles of my life. I am absorbed here. होता है ऐसा? होता है ना? It for sure it happens. If it is not happening, that means we are not listening properly. We are still thinking something else. That is the effect of Harikatha. It has to happen. If somebody is absorbed in Harikatha, Bhagavatam says for sure, at least for that time being, he is beyond the problems of this material world. So that is the power of Harikatha. So therefore, Bhagavad Gita is describing this one principle through various concepts. You are not this body, you are soul, worship Krishna. That is the ultimate understanding of this second chapter. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that there are some philosophers who don't believe in soul. When Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, such philosophers existed, and they were known as Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas. Prabhupada gives some technical terms. Such philosophers maintain that life symptoms came place at a certain mature conditions of material combination. It's like our biology books, what it says. So life came from combination of matter. How many of you are biology students? They have studied biology little bit. थोड़ा बहुत चलो कुछ लोगों ने सुना है. Darwin's theory सुनी होगी. We have come from monkeys. सुना होगा ना? एक बार एक लड़का बच्चा जाता है पापा को पूछता है पापा पापा हम लोग कहाँ से आए हैं? बोला बेटा हम लोग मंकी से आए हैं. डार्विन जी बोलते हैं ना. मम्मी के पास जाता है बेटा मम्मी मम्मी where have we come from? मम्मी says we have come from God बेटा. अरे पापा तो बोल रहे हैं we have come from monkeys और आप बोल रहे हैं we have come from God. अरे दोनों सही बोल रहे हैं बेटा. His side has come from monkeys. अरे आफ्टर इफेक्ट्स भी आ रहा है पीछे से. लेट समझ में. So we have to understand there will be philosophers always who will never believe in God. They will say we have come from matter. So these types of people were always existing. ऐसा नहीं कि आज लोग आ गए हैं. शुरू से ऐसे लोग पड़े हुए हैं. There are some people who never believed in God. Even when Krishna was there, people were not accepting him as God. So that's how it is. So Krishna is telling, even if you don't believe in soul, still please don't lament. Because anyways, body is dead. Prabhupada writes in the purport, now it has become fashionable to feel like that. There is a religion called as atheism also. Religion is atheism. So that's how it is. Now, next verse. Krishna describes another philosophy. Now he clarifies, the soul never takes birth, and whoever has taken birth is sure to die. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityo dhruvam janmamritasya cha tasmada pariharyarthe na tvam shochitum arhasi. Translation.
One who has taken birth is sure to die, and after that, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in our unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament.
Yes. So somehow or other, Krishna is trying to convince Arjun you have to fight. So in the previous verse, he said, even if you think that there is no soul, your grandfather and your teachers, they are anyways going to die. Why are you lamenting? And actually, anyone who takes birth is sure to die. As it is said, as sure as death. Nobody can say, nahi, main to nahi marne wala. Anybody who has taken birth, jatasya hi. Prabhupada would always say, there are scientists who are telling, we will bring people back to life. There is a whole branch called as cryonics. Some of you must have heard about it. I have a video. I have a video also about it. If you have time, I'll show you. How these people, they are trying to bring people back to life. And there are some foolish people, they have registered कि मेरे मरने के बाद मेरे शरीर को preserve करके रखो भाई. When you find the formula, bring me back to life. There are people. Jatasya hi, are they don't understand. Anyone who has taken birth, mrityu is sure. Nobody can survive for eternity. Anybody, jatasya, jata means janam liya hai. Dhruva, dhruva means for sure. For sure, death will come. And anybody who dies, it is not that ye to chale gaye abhi. इनका तो हो गया हरि बोल, इसको ने सब चीज के लिए हरि बोलिए। जन्म लिया तो भी हरि बोल, मरे तो भी हरि बोल, शादी हो गया तो भी हरि बोल। हमारे भक्ति वेदांत में जो अपने वार्ड बॉय रहते हैं उनको भी हरि बोल बोलते हैं। सबके लिए हरि बोल ही है इधर। So anyone who takes birth is sure to die, and anyone who dies, it is not that they are gone. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Again they will take birth. It is not that they will stay eternally in subtle body as ghosts. They will not get the body. No. Anybody who has soul, anybody who is there in this world, he is sure to die and again take birth according to the karmic reactions. Whatever actions they do, they get a body accordingly. Therefore, tasmad apariharye. Apariharye means that which is unavoidable. It is unavoidable. Prabhupada writes in one place, very beautiful statement. One should not lament when things are beyond our control. When some things are not happening the way we want, unavoidable changes in our life, we should never lament. Learn to accept the unavoidable changes in our life. Tasmad apariharye, that which is unavoidable. Why are you lamenting? Nainam shochitum arhasi, please don't lament. So that is very important to understand, this principle. If you can't change something, what is the use of lamenting? It is, if we accept this one principle, our life will become peaceful. We always try to keep changing things which will never change. And when things go wrong in our life, we lament. For a person who is not in spirituality, who is not practicing Krishna consciousness, they are always sorrowful about the past. मेरे जीवन में ये नहीं हुआ, ये चाहिए था, वो चाहिए था. Somebody was, somebody telling me, शादी के बाद और मोबाइल लेने के बाद एक विचार हमेशा आता है, क्या? देखो मैंने नहीं बोला, तो माता जी सामने बैठी हैं फिर भी आप ऐसे. So they always lament, sorrowful about the past. क्यों ऐसा हो गया, ये नहीं मिला, वो नहीं मिला, ऐसा हो गया, वैसा हो गया. And they're always, hopeful. They are in illusion in the present. Sorry. In the present tense, they are in illusion, they are in pain. अभी ये प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है, अभी ऐसा हो रहा है, ये दुख है, बॉडी में प्रॉब्लम है, फैमिली में प्रॉब्लम है. They are always fearful about the future. आगे क्या होगा? So these three emotions are always there in our life. Shoka, moha and bhaya. Shok about the past, moha in the present, and bhaya about the future. But a devotee, he understands whatever has happened in my life, it has happened by the will of the Krishna, will of the Lord. Why should I lament? जो हुआ भगवान की इच्छा से हुआ है. And whatever is happening now, because a devotee is not so much attached to the body, they don't lament. They are not in pain much. Just like there was one disciple of Srila Prabhupada, his name was Sridhar Swami, sannyasi. Whole life he served Prabhupada, and in the last few years he had some serious, health issues. He had liver cirrhosis. His liver was failing. And doctors told that इनके पास 3-4 महीने ही बचे. He was American body. He wanted to leave his body in Mayapur. Mayapur, Mahaprabhu ka birthplace in Bengal. So he was in America that time. Doctors told you have only few months to live. So he flew from America on the plane. He was in difficulties, very uncomfortable state. So the air hostess comes and says, "Sir, may I help you? Can I do something?" He says, this body is anyways going to die. The soul is eternal. Why are you getting disturbed? She's thinking, I am not disturbed. He is in disturbed situation. He gave a class, half an hour class to the air hostess. And she says, "Arre Baba, next time nahi jayenge, lecture mere ko dete." He landed in Kolkata airport, and from Kolkata to Mayapur is like 5 hours of drive, 4 to 5. On the way, he became unconscious. Ultimately, he reached Mayapur. Doctors came, they were checking him. His stomach was full of fluid, ascites. So doctors, they were putting stethoscope on the abdomen and they were just doing the examination. He came to consciousness that time and he says, "Doctor, is it a boy or a girl?" In that situation also he is enjoying, happy. He was called as Jolly Swami, always happy. So devotee is whatever situation they may be, because they understand that this is not me, this is not me, I am not this body. There was another Prabhupada disciple, Kunti Mataji. She was a very simple lady. Throughout her life she served, some menial services, whatever she could do, she did. And then she was old, then she got cancer. And she was literally, in pain. But she was happy in that situation also. The doctors, they were telling that she is going through such intense pain, but she is not manifesting any symptoms. This is a very painful type of cancer. And some newspaper reporters, they came to know that this lady, she is in cancer and she is happy. They came to interview her. They published that report in newspaper. And just reading that, there were some devotees who had left practicing Krishna consciousness. Reading that report, they became inspired. They came to meet Kunti Mataji. They would meet thinking that unko thoda sa, milte hai na bimar logon se. And when they would meet her, she would preach to them. And they would come out more happy. And she was not able to even just move the pages. She had that pain. Somebody gave her a small computer. And she was reading the soft copy of Prabhupada books. And she was telling, this is the best thing which I have received in my life. I will not trade off my situation with anyone in this world. The amount of joy which I am getting reading Prabhupada books, that is unimaginable. I am not experiencing pain. So that is how a devotee transcends the bodily pains. And about future, the devotee is not so much concerned. Because whatever is happening, it is happening by the will of the Lord. So the lamentation is not there. Yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktir utpadyate pumsam shoka moha bhayapaha. Shoka, moha and bhaya. These three emotions are there. This verse says, Yasyam vai shruyamana. The more we hear, the more we practice spiritual life, chanting, reading about Krishna, who is Param Purusha, we know what will happen? Bhaktir utpadyate. The devotion will arise in the heart and three things will go away from the life. Shoka, moha, bhaya, apaha. They will be destroyed. That is the power of spiritual practices. So that is what Krishna is trying to tell Arjun, please don't lament. Don't lament about the death of your relatives. Just do your duty properly. So Prabhupada writes, there are some philosophers who don't believe in soul. He says, yet if for argument's sake we accept this atheistic theory, still there is no cause for lamentation. Why are you lamenting? So that is how Krishna is describing. And then Prabhupada writes, in the last paragraph of this purport, and if we accept the Vedic conclusion, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, that these material bodies are perishable, antavanta ime deha, nitya shyokta sharirinaha, the body is anyways going to die, and the soul is anyways going to be eternal. We should always understand body is like a dress. Nobody laments if the dress is changed. If the dress is old, any of us have lamented, अरे पुराना क्यों फेंक रहे हैं? We are eager, नया मिलेगा. So therefore, a person should not lament. If the soul is changing the body and going to the next body, we should never lament. Now, in the next verse, next is a very interesting verse. We'll recite this. Ashcharyavat pashyati kashchidenam. 29th, right? Oh, sorry.
29.
Oh, 28. Sorry, we are on 28th verse. Yes. Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata avyktani dhananyeva tatra ka paridevana. Translation.
All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their entering state, and unmanifest again when annihilate. So, what need is there for lamentation?
Yes. So again he is describing, please don't lament. Everyone, they were in unmanifested state in the beginning. The soul, when doesn't get a body, when leaves this body, unmanifested state, no gross body. In the middle, then after some time gets a body, and then after this body's duration is over, again unmanifested. So therefore, these changes are always going to happen. Tatra ka paridevana. Why one should lament for this change? People, they are disturbed when things change in life, and especially when the things change for the worst. We are always disturbed by changes. But there is only one thing which is constant in this world, that is change. Change will be there always in the life of everyone. So the earlier we learn to accept the changes in ourselves, changes in our life, will become peaceful. When we learn to accept the things, when we learn to accept people, when we learn to accept time, when we learn to accept the place, when we learn to accept the situation, we become peaceful. When we keep on complaining, ऐसा क्यों है, वैसा क्यों है, you shift to another home and इधर ऐसा नहीं है, वैसा नहीं है. No option, but you have to live there. The quicker, the earlier we accept the place, we'll remain peaceful. And the earlier we accept people, we will have peaceful relations. Some people, sometimes we keep pointing, yeah, ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं, ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं. Some people have some idiosyncrasies. They'll do something in some way, and the other person doesn't like it at all. There are some people, they'll open the cupboard and they'll never close it. देखा आपने ऐसे लोग कभी बंद नहीं करते हैं. They are made like that. उनका नेचर ही वैसा है. They'll start something, they'll never end it. And वो बाकियों को लगते हैं इतना सिंपल सा चीज क्यों नहीं कर रहा है बाबा ये. Different people have different natures. The earlier we recognize the nature of another person, will become peaceful. Some people, they are always dominant type of people. They will move things. They are movers and shakers. Wherever they go, people understand, आ गया, तूफान आया अभी. They can make things run. They are like leaders, manager. जो भी करो कर दें, जो भी बोलो हो जाएगा. There are some people, उनको बोलते रहो. They will say yes, but they will never do it. They are very slow in doing things, and that is a nature. There are children like that also. बचपन से ऐसे ही पता चलता है. There are some children, they will sit and they will sit with the back on the wall. मतलब बोलेंगे सीधा खड़े होकर सीधा बैठ, वो जमता ही नहीं उनको. They will sit peacefully. They are like peaceful people. उनके जीवन में कोई टेंशन नहीं है. उनको देख के दूसरों को टेंशन आता है. इसका कैसे चलेगा भाई जीवन? देखा आपने ऐसे लोगों को? We think कैसे चलेगा इसका जीवन? चल जाता है उसका जीवन आराम से. There are some people who are like वो जाएंगे तो जहां कहीं भी हो वो, people around them, they'll be laughing and they'll have fun time. They're like center of stage. जहां कहीं भी रहेंगे हंसी मजाक होगा और मतलब people like to be with them. They are good at speaking. They attract people's attention. There are some people who are perfectionist. मतलब कुछ चीजें ऐसी हैं तो ऐसी नहीं रखने हैं, ऐसा है तो ऐसा ही रखना है. There are people like that. Perfectionist. जो भी करेंगे perfection होना चाहिए भाई उसमें. You see their cupboard, you see their study table, it will be clean. And there are some people, mess. उनका टेबल देख के लगता है इसने सदियों से साफ नहीं किया टेबल. And you ask them, ठीक ही तो है. There are people like that. These are 4 types of mindsets. We'll discuss something about it in detail sometime. Powerful, choleric, then sanguine, then there are some people who are like उनका क्या बोलते हैं उनको, perfect melancholy, perfectionist. They are perfect. They think a lot. And there are some people who keep thinking about things. सोचते रहते हैं, राई का पहाड़ बनाते हैं वो लोग. Problems are little bit, they'll magnify it. Keep on thinking. That's their nature. They like to think. And there are some people, they are called as peaceful phlegmatic. उनको जीवन में कोई नहीं हिला सकता है. They can handle all the problems, still they'll be peaceful. ऐसे लोग रहते हैं. और कुछ लोग रहते हैं, प्रॉब्लम आया कि अभी तो मेरे जीवन में इतना बड़ा तूफान आ गया है. प्रॉब्लम से इतना सा है. So we have to learn to understand these are different types of people. They will never change. Don't try to change a peaceful phlegmatic. Of course, they have to evolve and they have to come out of their some faults. But कुछ चीजें नहीं बदलती हैं लोगों के जीवन में. Accept them. Accept the time. Accept the place. That will make us peaceful in life. Otherwise, you'll always be disturbed. So Krishna says, Nainam Shoshatim, don't lament for those things which will never change in life. That is very, very important to understand. And the earlier we understand, we can peacefully practice devotional service. Because ultimately, all our, life is meant to make us practice spirituality peacefully, bhakti peacefully. That's the purpose of human form of life. Purpose of human form of life is not to memorize 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. One person came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, Swamiji, I can recite all the 700 shlokas in 40 minutes. Prabhupada said, can you live Bhagavad Gita for 40 minutes? That is more important. Rather than memorizing verses, learn to apply it in your life. One life member came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, I have heard your disciples pronouncing verses, American disciples. He said, their pronunciation is not good. They don't know how to pronounce mantras properly. Prabhupada said, their pronunciation is not good, but their renunciation is very good. Just see, they have renounced so many things. What have you done? You cannot even give up chai, coffee. इंडियंस को चाय कॉफी छोड़ना बहुत तपस्या है. बाकी कुछ भी बोलो छोड़ दें, चाय सुबह सिस्टम शुरू नहीं होता है भाई, चाय नहीं पिया तो. So when we practice spiritual principles, we have to understand they are the highest principles, and for that some chota mota cheez we have to learn to give up. To get something big, we have to learn to give up something small, which is insignificant. So that is what we have to learn here. The human body is anyways going to die. The soul is eternal. But in this human body, we can achieve the highest perfection of life. Hridehamadyam sulabham sudurlabham plavam sukalpam gurukarnadharam mayanukulena nabhasvatiritam puman bhavabdhim nataren sa atmaha. This verse says, this human body, it is like a very nicely made boat. In this boat, we can cross the ocean of material existence, Bhavasagar. And you cannot cross an ocean in a small boat. You need a ship. This human body is like a ship. And on this ship, there is a captain. Who is the captain of the ship of human body? Who will guide us through this ocean of material existence? That is the spiritual master. The teachers. Guru Karnadharam. The spiritual masters, they are the guru. They are Karnadhara. Karnadhar means they are the captain. One of the acharyas, they say Karnadhar मतलब जो कान पकड़ के लेके जाते हैं सही रास्ते. Karnadhar. वही सही रास्ते पे लेके जाते हैं कान पकड़ के. They teach us, they chastise us. This is not right. This is the way it should be done. So one should not feel कि इतना डांट रहे हैं मेरे को, बाकियों को तो नहीं डांटते. So we have to learn to get to, first thing which Krishna, what he did with Arjun? Chastisement. पहले झाप. So chastisement is essential in spiritual life. And if somebody is not getting chastisement, that means the teacher has not developed that much trust. इसको डांटूंगा तो भाग ही जाएगा ये तो. So that's how this human life, it is rarely achieved. We should take advantage of this human life. Try to practice bhakti, try to practice spiritual life, try to bring others close to spiritual life. That is very important. In our week time, as we go back, we have to do two things. Janma sarthak kara, kara para upakar. Try to make your life successful by reading, by chanting. I hope all of you must be chanting by now. If you are not chanting, start chanting. Because reading Bhagavad Gita, hearing Bhagavad Gita is very good, fun. क्या क्लास था, वाह मजा आया. क्या क्लास था, वो मत पूछिए, सब अच्छा ही था. To hear new concepts is very titillating to the mind. सुनने में मजा आता है नहीं, मन को, बुद्धि को. आज नया नया कॉन्सेप्ट सुना. But that information will not last long. We are not here to gather information. We are here for transformation. We have to transform ourselves. For that, remaining 6 days, that is our homework. Every day chanting. If possible, try to read Bhagavad Gita. Try to hear some lectures. Then gradually we will come close to Krishna. Okay, I'll stop here. Anybody has any questions? Any questions so far? Okay, so it seems there are no questions. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.